So, dear Manchester United fans, there are certain times we have to think about some of the actions that we take on social media and some of the ways that we criticize players, criticize the team, criticize the manager. Man United have only played 2 games in this season. We saw positive preseason. We saw opportunities where Man United could improve, and we saw situations where Man United have improved. We played a couple of games against Everton, against West Ham, Bournemouth in preseason, Fiorentina, against Leeds, testing ourselves against Premier League sides, considering the fact that we only have domestic competitions to compete for. And we saw massive improvements. Case in point, Bournemouth. Or even in some situations, the Leeds game where it felt like the whole team was a bit all over the place, but then there was some gelling eventually. And then the West Ham game where we won, the Bournemouth game where we smashed them 4-1. Yes, albeit it was preseason. Then came Arsenal. We played Arsenal and we lost 1-0. But everybody was upbeat. We're excited. Oh, we lost the game, but we played very well. We outplayed Arsenal, played them off the park and stuff. And then came Fulham. We've played Fulham and then we drew the game. And it felt like a loss because we didn't play well. And then we now drew the game in the fashion that we did. But the thing I've noticed as a trend over the last couple of years as a Man United fan, over the last couple of years as I've begun to focus more on Man United content and drill deep into the nitty-gritties and the details, is the fact that Man United fans are so quick to find a scapegoat. At the end of the Fulham game, everybody focused on 2 people. The Amorim out brigade or sack Amorim brigade came out and on X, and they're like, oh, Amorim out, sack Amorim, get him out the door, bring in Xavi Hernandez and all of that. And then you have the Bruno haters, the ones that have been hibernating for the last 6 months when things have not been going well, but they've been blaming everybody all over the place. They've come out and they're like, oh, Bruno is the main reason why we drew to Fulham. Bruno is the main reason why we're not moving forward. Bruno is this, Bruno is that. Meanwhile, the stats speak for itself. And then you hear arguments like, oh, he's playing for himself. I'm like, are you guys really seeing what is really going on? And then you hear things like, oh, Amorim needs to change his formation. Amorim came out in the press conference the other day and said, systems are overrated. It's all about being fluid in whatever you play, in however you play. And Man United is playing in a fluid kind of formation. Not that Amorim is the first person to have played a 3-4-3. Hello, Amorim is not the first person to play a 3-4-3. And I can name 5 or 6 teams that are playing this 3-4-3 system. In fact, Xabi Alonso, who was Bayern Leverkusen manager, played 3-4-3 and won the league with 3-4-3. Oh, what of Thomas Tuchel? Thomas Tuchel played 3-4-3 at Chelsea, or 5-3-2 as the case may be, and used it to win trophies at Chelsea, and still does it to this day. Now, Xabi Alonso, people used to give examples, has adapted to what he has as a team. But if he had his Bayern Leverkusen team as the current Real Madrid, I bet you he's going to play a 3-4-3 formation. That's why he tried it out in the World Cup and made a few changes and it didn't work. Oh, think about other coaches